to 5 Minutes of Math. This is Mr. Lunsford, and I'm glad you joined me this evening. Tonight's homework is for the evening of March 27th, 2018, and we're looking at characteristics of polyhedra. Now, you guys are probably used to hearing the word polyhedron. The correct plural for that word is polyhedra. It's a Greek derivative. And I just wanted to let y'all know, if you hear the word polyhedrons, yes, that's a plural, but the better word is polyhedra. We're looking at edges, faces, vertices, and bases. Let's get started. Alright, so instead of doing these problems individually, what I'm going to do is put them all in chart form. So we're going to look at problem number 1, problem number 2, and problem number 3 on the same page. And the three shapes in question are this rectangular prism, this triangular prism, and this cylinder. And let's see, I divided mine into a chart. So let's look at each one of these shapes and let's just go through the characteristics. So for the first shape, that overall shape is a prism. All right, so that rectangular prism is a prism. All right, so here's the second shape. That's also a prism. The third shape is a cylinder. All right, it is not a polyhedron. The other two are, this one isn't. Number of bases, there are 6 bases in that rectangular prism. In the triangular prism, there are 2 bases. Now, the definition of a base is that you have to have 2 polygons that are congruent and parallel in the same shape. In a rectangular prism, you actually have all the sides in pairs of 2s are parallel to each other and congruent. But in a triangular prism, only the top and the bottom are parallel and congruent. So that's the difference there. For a cylinder, there are 2 bases, the top circle and the bottom circle. We'll look at that a little more closely in a few minutes. There are 4 sides on each base. There are 3 sides on each of the bases in that triangular prism. And there are no sides on the circles in that cylinder. Here's where we actually name the shapes: rectangular prism, triangular prism, and cylinder. Now we can go through and actually do what the problems are asking us to do. We can name our bases, our faces, our edges, and our vertices. Alright, so let's look at our bases. In that first shape, you'll notice that there are 6 bases. And let's take a closer look. We have A, B, C, D. We have E, F, G, H. We have A, B, E, F. We have D, C, G, H. We have A, D, H, E. And B, C, G, F. So those are your 6 bases in that rectangular prism. Now, in the triangular prism, we have 2 bases: the bottom, TUV, and the top, QRS. So again, that's TUV and QRS. Now, in our cylinder, our bases are just circle A and circle B. I'm just naming them by their midpoints. So here's circle A at the top, here's circle B at the bottom. Now, let's look at the faces. The faces on that rectangular prism are the same as the bases. So we can go through them one more time. Here's all the faces: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, A, B, F, E. We have D, C, G, H, A, D, H, E, and B, C, G, F. Now, on our triangular prism, it's a little bit different. We have a lot more faces than we do bases. Now, let's take a look at this. QRS, then here's TUV. Here's QSVT, that's one of the sides. Here's SRUV, another side. And QRUT, and you'll probably never look at a slice of pie the same way again. All right, so we come back. Here's a cylinder. There are no faces on this shape. No faces, just 2 bases, no faces. And here's our edges. We can look at our edges for our rectangular prism. Here's what the edges look like. So here's edge AB, edge BC, edge DC, edge AD, edge EF, edge FG, edge HG, edge EH, edge AE, edge BF, edge CG, and edge DH. All right, now looking at this triangular prism, here's our edges. Edge QR, line segment SR, line segment QS, and actually when I'm switching over from the word edge to line segment, that's actually what they are, is line segments. Here's line segment TU, here's line segment VU, and line segment TV, line segment QT, line segment RU, and line segment SV. And on our cylinder, there are no edges. Here's our vertices. Now, our vertices are just our corners, so let's take a look at those. And these are points. That's why I'm separating each letter with a comma. Let me show you what I mean. Here's vertex A, vertex B, vertex C, vertex D, vertex E, vertex F, vertex G, and vertex H. And here we have our vertices, and by the way, vertex is singular, vertices is plural. Here's our set of vertices for the triangular prism. Let's take a look. Here's Q, here's R, S, T, U, V. That's it. And there are no vertices on a cylinder because there's no corners. And that is it for this particular problem. Y'all take care, and remember, math is not just about numbers. It's all about the relationships that surround us every day. Have a good one.